Yes.
All eyes on you.
Well, it gives me great pleasure to present this plaque. It's from Keep Mississippi Beautiful, an affiliate of Keep America Beautiful. Just got to tell you a little background about this one. It's been a long time coming because it's so competitive. All of the different cities get to nominate elected officials, and so this is the second year of nomination, and we finally got it. So I'll just read what's on here. It says, Keep Mississippi Beautiful, Keep America Beautiful affiliate. Leaders against living. Second place goes to Alderman Timothy Taylor. So you come on up here. We were just feeling like it's so competitive, maybe it won't happen, so we'll give them one from Keep Canton Beautiful, but we really wanted to come from Mississippi instead of Canton.
Okay.
Okay, all the elements, will you all come? Will you please?
Yeah, get the person with all.
Get the person with
Let the man get the work.
And you all know in his ward that for the last over 5 years, probably he's been leading trash pickup efforts in his ward. I asked him to send me pictures, but he never did.
I never did.
So the good thing is that he has them on his website.
Oh, yeah, that's
So
right.
I took them off the website and made it happen in spite of him.
Well, thank you so much. I apologize. Okay.
Don't get my feet.
Now the tree's kind of hard. Kind of free. 1, 2, 3, cheese.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, come on, y'all. Oh, please. Come on here.
I'm just going to
Get in front here.
No, right in front of you.
Okay. Okay. You have to hold it.
Oh, okay.
It's yours now.
You might stand in
And
front
hold on
of
to that for a couple of weeks.
All right. What else?
Just come on, right on.
Hey, Sip, I'm on ahead with you, baby. Oh, you said now it's on the radio.
3 cheese. 1, 2, 3 cheese.
Cheese.
See.
Thank you.
All right, see.
Let me take a picture of it, I don't know what I'm talking
I'll get all the.
about. I'll take a picture of the flag.
Yeah, talk about it.
I don't need a picture.
Chip, take one.
I know you can't vote. I don't know if you
I
can
can't
be
take
signed today.
Oh,
I
the
can
flag?
leave it
A
for
pen
signature
with
for
the
later.
flag.
So, this is, I'm on the committee for our Juneteenth.
I need a picture.
Hold on one second. Chip, yeah.
Can you please? Thank you.
So I'm on the committee for Juneteenth this year. We're excited. There are a lot of activities. Angela Carson, who is the leader of the committee, was here yesterday, and she talked about some of the activities. This year, Juneteenth falls on Thursday, and so there will be three days of activities. On Friday morning, she's asked me to coordinate a cleanup, a citywide cleanup. And what we like to do is have a ward-based cleanup so that the aldermen of their wards will organize a cleanup. Or they would at least identify somebody to organize a cleanup. And you know where the litter is in your area, so you might just clean up a particular area in your ward. So I just encourage every ward to be involved in that. And I'll just be going around taking pictures and trying to encourage people to participate. I'm going to leave. Should I leave with you the proclamation? I'll leave it too, so that you can have one, and I'll just let me know when you got one ready, and I'll pick it up. And so, need your participation. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you.
All right. Dr.
Yes, ma'am. 708 790 Thank you.
So does the high sheriff have to do the jurisdiction in Madison County?
Attorney Banks,
I'm here.
have you heard from anyone else?
No, nobody said that.
How long should we wait?
Come on, man.
I think it's 30 minutes, so I mean, I don't know if we're getting it wrong. It's almost, it's 5 o'clock.
Come on, man.
Somebody's gonna have to take the initiative to call it.
What you think?
As far as this goes,
Yeah,
we're not gonna have a meeting.
I don't think so. I'm there.
Hey, hey, we waiting on you. Section three.
Esco, do you mind staying on the phone so the meeting can go ahead and start?
Yes, I can start the meeting now.
I know you don't have an agenda before you, just, you wanna call it to order and then kind of flow until you get here.
Yeah, and take the roll and that kind of stuff. And
Right.
the preliminary.
Alderman Esco,
Yes,
can you call the meeting to order and do the invocation in the roll?
I will.
Okay, we're ready.
Everyone, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
All right, well, good afternoon. We're gonna call our meeting to order at this time. I'd like to welcome everyone here today. We'll start, having, prayer. We'd like for everyone to stand for prayer. And all of them, lead up to prayer.
All right, with all heads bowed, all eyes closed. Lord, we come again and thank you for a wonderful day, wonderful week, and a wonderful time as we exist on your earth. So therefore, as we go forward, continue to bless us with the knowledge and the patience that you so provide. So as we go forward, always let us be reminded that we're not here just to make a dollar, but we're truly here to make a difference. In Jesus' name, amen.
Roll call, Alderman Esco. You want-
We'll start all out with the loud power clerk reading all the names.
Alderman Blunt. Alderman Brown. Alderman Fred Esco.
Present.
Alderwoman Mother Gilkey. Alderman Les Ken.
Present.
Alderman Tim Taylor.
Present.
Alderman Lafayette Wells.
Brother. Call me.
Mayor Mayor William Truly Jr.
All right, we're gonna get back to the council today, and, once again, I'd like to thank everybody for coming today.
Adopt the agenda.
See the motion to adopt the agenda.
Hold on one second. What is it, Mr. Henry?
Before you adopt the agenda, I think on yesterday, I came before the council, leading board. They addressed a couple of issues. I wanted to know whether or not they were going to be included with this agenda, or how do y'all propose to address those issues that I brought before the council? Because I would like for those issues that I brought before the council to go on record to being, I guess, presented to the board for some type of resolution. So where we are in terms of those two items that I discussed on yesterday. And those two items that I discussed was, one was, the superintendent of schools in terms of what disciplinary actions taken against that particular individual as relates to the testing debacle that occurred a while back. And I discussed the fact that we had not necessarily all level people who got, either suspended or punished or what have you. And there is a testing coordinator that's above those individuals who's in charge of the testing, plus the superintendent of school. Now, my understanding is that the superintendent of school was rewarded 2 additional years for, I'm not necessarily saying bad behavior, but that's on his watch. And for whatever reason or another, he was given an extension on his contract in the wake of these testing, I don't want to say scandals or whatever, but nevertheless, there was testing about. And the second thing that I talked about as related to the school was the roundabout, why haven't the schools fixed that, roundabout? Because that place has been in such a bad situation for years. And we are taxpayers. We actually passed a $33 million school bond years ago to address these issues, and they're not addressed. And I think the other thing that I discussed was the CMU issue, trying to determine what type of rates, what rates are going to be affected by the increase, whether it's going to be business, commercial. So I think businesses have been already increased. I think the next step was the Public Service Commission came before the council or came before CMU to get those rates adjusted for the most part. Anytime, I guess, rates that are affected outside of the Public Service Commission jurisdiction, I guess CMU has to kind of, discuss things with them. So I want to know whether or not that includes the city of Canton, business, not business, but residential and commercial. So I want to see if we can get some resolution or some idea as to what rates are going to be increased as it relates to that. And whether or not these are going to be double rate increases, because businesses have already been increased. So it's just some unclear understanding of what rates for money. So again, I hope the board will address those issues and come up with some resolution or kind of inform the public in terms of what rates we're about to cut. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
As Mr. Jeffrey said yesterday, he talked about this, I don't know if we do anything today about, I want to make sure we acknowledge.
At some point address the members who,
It's almost like we would need to have them, we need to invite them to come here.
Right.
Yeah.
And explain.
Why?
As far as CMU goes, we've spoken a few times about, we need some clarity on that as well. We invite them and they need to be here. Because everyone sees, this meeting and the next meeting, and probably the next one, are all going to be a little discombobulated because the turnover and the, administration, and there's still an election, so who's going to show up, who's not.
Right. So let's reach out to them, clerk and document,
Yeah.
then we'll reach out to them, get them here so we get some answers.
Now, Mr. Gilkey, I can say this to you, and I know in the past that we've requested those board members that we appoint to Canton Public Schools and both the CMU board also to come and visit with us and give us updates as to what's going on and what's taking place. We've had the hardest time doing that. What they do is instead of the board members that we appoint coming and we can evaluate where they are, they always send the superintendent or a principal or from CMU, the general manager. And I don't know how you can vet where a person is once you appoint them if you never hear from them. And I hope as we go forward with this new administration, anybody that's appointed to a board, there will be requirements to the city of Canton. And we need to have these updates going forward. And next week is the Canton Public School Board meeting and also the CMU Board meeting. One's at 3:30 and the next Canton Public Schools is at 5:30. I don't know, we can't do anything without them being in our presence, but we can definitely go to them and make the same statements. I'll be there. I'd love to be there. And if you would like to do it that way, or we can wait till the third meeting of the month of May and get them.
Because again, if you happen to go over there, me as an individual, I go and talk, it's just like you preach it to the choir.
Yeah.
So it goes to one end and comes to the other.
I agree.
And I think this is the code, this is Annotated Code of 1972, I think. 377-301 kind of governs or kind of, show you a guideline in terms of how to deal with, those school issues. And I think C itself basically kind of talks a little bit more about some of the regional responsibilities, specifically as it relates to the roundabout, as it relates to schools. But as it relates to the superintendent of schools, for the most part, there are guidelines that are within that code that governs that as well.
And I agree with you 100%. And I think in this past qualifying deadline in January, this particular city was going to allow an attorney to put a convicted felon on the ballot, and the 15th Amendment prohibits that. The same thing with the qualifying executive Democratic Committee. When you look at 27 Code 2715-309, which they should have abided by, and they wanted to put it back on the individual to prove residency, when the code specifically says it's incumbent upon this particular committee to do their job, and they didn't do their job. So, of course, they know the codes, and they just, to some degree, disregard the code. What's that? And I agree with you 100%. That roundabout, to some degree, with all the money that's been invested, $33 million, it comes from state, comes from citizens, taxpayers. These things should be taken care of. For $33 million, you ought to be living in a golden paradise to some degree. But we don't seem to act up until certain things happen. Then instead of reacting, we respond, and the response is a little bit too late. So I agree with you 100%. To even acknowledge it. I agree.
It will be addressed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Good. At this time, we will go ahead and adopt it.
Before we adopt the agenda, we need to add an item.
Okay.
We need to add, accept the Juneteenth resolution presented by Dr. Hines.
Okay.
Proclamation for the cleanup.
Dr. Hines, you may want to restate your purpose for the resolution since the mayor pro tem is in attendance.
Citywide cleanup proclamation.
Yeah.
Juneteenth is coming up, and it's on a Thursday. So this year we've decided, the committee has decided to have 3 days of activities. One of the activities will be on Friday morning at 9 o'clock. They've asked Keith Canton Beautiful to coordinate that citywide cleanup. And what we're wanting to happen is for all of the aldermen in their wards to supervise or coordinate a cleanup activity in their area at 9 o'clock that morning. So we're hoping that you all will sign a proclamation so we can know that everybody's on board with that.
Okay. With that stated, I'm sure that all the aldermen are in support of that.
Proclamation.
The idea is we have fun for Juneteenth and we serve.
All right.
We always serve. In fact, 7 o'clock this morning, I was trying to beat the rain. I was out there putting flowers down in the house.
All right.
Thank you. That's what we do. We want to do a better job by covering more of Canton.
Okay.
Beautifying more of Canton instead of just the square. We'll do better. Thank you.
Thank you. So Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, sir.
if she's, Dr. Hines is finished like that, item, that proclamation,
You add that item to,
that's no motion.
I'll second motion.
okay, motion by Alderman Wells, seconded by Alderman Taylor, that we add, the item, the proclamation for
Citywide cleanup.
citywide cleanup for Juneteenth event. Is there any question? If not, all in favor of the motion?
Carefully, aye.
Tim Taylor,
Well,
Ken,
Alderman Blunt?
that's it.
Okay, the motion carries and, unanimous, and it is unanimous. Okay, now we need to adopt the agenda. That goes back to the agenda, now we go ahead and adopt the agenda.
Okay.
I need a motion.
so moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Taylor, second by Alderman Gilby, that we adopt the agenda with that, item added, and there will be, first item on the agenda. All in favor of the motion?
Carefully, aye.
Well,
Tim Taylor.
Ken,
Motion carries and is unanimous. At this point, we need to, Dr. Hines has already, is the presenter, so I need a motion. That's the first item I just moved
oh, okay. All right, Mayor Pro Tem, I motion that we accept the, Juneteenth citywide cleanup proclamation as presented by Dr. Hines.
I'll second the motion, Mayor Pro Tem.
in. Motion by Alderman Wells, second by Alderman Taylor, that, we approve the proclamation presented by Dr. Hines for Juneteenth, celebration. All in favor of the motion?
Carefully, aye.
Tim Taylor.
Well,
Ken, one so.
Okay. Motion passes, carries, and is unanimous. Now, I need a motion to approve the claim document.
Mayor Pro Tem, I motion that we approve the claims and contractual docket.
There's a motion, is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Alderman Will, second by Alderman Taylor, that we approve the, claims, contractual claims docket. Did it be, all in favor of the motion?
Carefully, nay.
Well,
Tim Taylor.
Ken,
Okay, so it's like a tie here, so I'll break the tie in favor of the motion to approve the claim document. And it passes. I need a motion to approve, authorize and approve repairs in the amount of $3,945 to Drew Design and Construction for replacement ceiling tiles, change lights in the living area, and change lights in the hall and kitchen area at Fire Station number 3. Is there a motion?
so moved.
I'll second with the non-residents.
Also, carefully.
You have one too?
Yeah.
Okay, motion by Alderman Penn, second by Alderman Taylor, that we approve item number 7. And there are 2 unreadiness. We're gonna start with the first unreadiness, and that was, I think, Alderman Taylor. Alderman Taylor.
Yeah, is the fire chief here? Just give us a brief update as to where you are with this and, where we're going.
We're going to,
Canton remodeling Station 3 inside. When it rained hard, all the tile and the ceiling got wet because the drain was clogged up from the leaves. And so we did the back, now we're working our way to the front. And so that's why we're trying to do the lights in the front first and get all the tiles up first. And that's the second stage. On the third stage, that's when we want to come back and paint it and strip the floors and wax them. But right now, we're trying to get the upper part situated now.
So with the water coming in, it has been checked for the update?
It came in and got right up.
Okay.
Yeah, it had got, it just soaked through it.
Well, it's not consistent.
No, because the drain downside, the north side, that drain downside there, leaves had clogged up in it, and it just overflowed down a bit.
So is there an estimated cost of future repairs?
No, we working this part right here, we might do the painting ourselves, we just trying to see the feasibility of it. But our main focus, like I said, getting all the light, getting all the ceiling, so there won't be no more. And so all that can be situated.
Okay. Ron ready to bring.
All right, now we got all the buildings.
Chief, in the future, could you get other quotes? Because sometimes I think people will be overcharged for certain things throughout the city, not just in your department. But if we can get other quotes to kind of do a comparison, I don't know if you did or didn't, but I'm just asking that you would, because it's on to me the right thing to do.
Of course,
To get other quotes so we can get the best thing for our
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
All right, thank you.
I thank you very much. Thank you.
We got Alderman Wells.
That's my same question.
Oh,
But I was gonna ask the attorney that question, just to make sure it's covered. Attorney Banks, do we have to get a second quote, since the amount was this, less than 5, do we have to get a second quote?
Attorney Banks.
Yeah, that was the only reason I didn't get the second quote, because but from now, yeah, we will get, even though, whatever the price is, if like you say, but statute-wide, we didn't, but for the board-wide, we will do it. Yes, ma'am, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
All in favor, this is Brendan.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
All right, so with that stated, all in favor of the motion?
Give the eye.
Tim Taylor.
Well,
Yeah,
Motion passed, and carries, and it's unanimous. Next is to authorize payment of $174,420 to R&T Service LLC for can drainage improvements, Phase A, to be paid from modernization funds. Is there a motion?
Mayor, pro tem, a motion that we, take this amount to RC services, $174,420.
And Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to second motion with an unreadiness.
Okay, there's a motion by Alderman Wells, second by Alderman Taylor, that we approve item number 7. There's one unreadiness, Alderman Taylor states your unreadiness.
Yeah, as we go forward in the city, when we hear things like modernization fund, internet sales tax, a lot of these things, our constituents are not familiar with them. So at this particular point, I want to ask the clerk if she would give a brief history of what the Modernization Act entails, modernization money entails.
Modernization funds are funds that are provided to municipalities across the state or country to help with repairs to roads, streets, and bridges.
So when you hear that the city's getting all this money, we may be getting money, but this money's going right back out. And I know you're going to hear some, probably see something in the news on tomorrow about the watershed money. That money was pushed through, $23 to $26 million for the city of Canton. Again, the city of Canton won't receive the money, but the money was allocated for the city of Canton. The people who will be managing the money will be the Board of Supervisors of Madison County. Once they get all these engineers and all these things in place, that money will go real quick. There is a process going forward and this is to eradicate the flooding in the city of Canton. There will be a process going forward to go back and ask our senators, both Sidney Smith, Roger Wicker, and our Congressman Benny Thompson for an additional $150 million. Hopefully one day, from where we stand, the citizens in this city who've been hit with this flooding process for a very long time, hopefully one day we'll be able to say that we truly put an end to it. But it's going to take a lot of work, it's going to take a lot of money, and a lot of money that we need. They try to circumvent this particular city. But as we go forward, there will be people at the table fighting for what we should be getting in the future. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Taylor. With that stated, all in favor of the motion?
Yes, yeah.
Tim Taylor.
Wells,
Yeah,
The motion passed, carries, and it's unanimous. We have, item number 9, authorized payment of $3,967.06 to TM Productions LLC for Soldier Colony drainage improvements to be paid from modernization funds. The motion?
Mr. President, I'd like to make the motion approving Roman number 9 as stated and documented.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Taylor, second by Alderman Gilkey, that we approve item 9 in the entirety.
one on readiness.
Okay, one on readiness, go ahead, state your readiness.
Yes, sir. Mayor Pro Tem, I think we have Mr. Gary Clark here, and who we talked to, as you stated here, our constituents, when we say Canton drainage improvements or the Soldier Colony drainage, a lot of our people don't know what we're talking about. So you could, Mr. Clark, could you come forward and tell them what areas that their monies are being spent on?
Yes.
They'll know where these projects are located.
So the Soldiers Colony Road improvements or drainage improvements on the roadside ditches along Soldiers Colony Road. There's further development that's going to be implemented in that area, so we're going ahead and have improved the drainage infrastructure in that area. The project Canton Drainage Improvements was a citywide initiative. It was downscaled to 3 different project sites, which included East Sim Street, Liberty Village Cove, and Ness Street. They're currently working in East Sim Street to pour 2 new driveway culverts. However, they will be moving back to Liberty Village Cove to address some erosion concerns of the project that's already been constructed. But those are the 3 project sites, 4 project sites pertaining to those 2 projects.
Thank you, Mr. Clark, for that update, and, Alderman Wells, I think that was well stated. All in favor of the motion?
Here we are.
Wells,
yeah,
Tim Taylor.
The motion carries, and it's unanimous. Next is authorize and approve the Canton Municipal Court refund restitution payments. Is there anyone to have that information before you?
yeah, 1,300 and
$1,331.25.
25 cents. And the amount of $1,331.25. Do you have discussion on this matter? If not,
Mayor, I motion that we will, authorize and approve, municipal court refund restitution for restitution payments in the amount of $1,431.25 to the persons listed on our pay, in our pay.
And I'd like to second the motion with an unreadiness.
I heard the motion by Alderman Gilkes, and there's a second by Alderman Taylor with an unreadiness. Yes, there's unreadiness on the table.
Although the report comes in, it tells, it breaks down and as to what's going where and why. I think we need a backup plan to the people who are issuing these monies so it'll correlate with what's on this paper. Because you do know that in any given situation, especially in an entity like this, monies will go out the back door, the side door, and under the door. And if we got people who have a backup plan verbally telling us what's going on, I think that helps us going forth in the future. We know the things that are taking place in the city in the past. I hope we're not going to continue to repeat the past. So whoever puts this particular report together, they ought to be able to come here, stand before us, and explain it verbatim, just the way they have it documented. Thank you. Final register.
Thank you, Alderman Taylor. Alderman-elect, Mary-elect Taylor. All in favor of the motion?
Tim Taylor.
Wells,
Kent,
Motion carries and it's unanimous. Item number 11, authorize and approve change order number 4 for the City of Canton Drainage Improvement Project in the amount of $14,540 submitted by R&C Service to make necessary repairs and pipe installation at Liberty Village Cove site. Is there a motion for this project?
Mayor, motion that we authorize, and approve the change order.
Second.
Second.
Okay. Motion by Alderman Will, seconded by Alderman Guilty, that we approve item number 11 in the entirety. Is there any questions? Not all in favor of the motion?
You're there.
Tim Taylor.
Wells,
Kent,
Motion carries and it's unanimous. Item number 12, authorize and approve WAC engineer for the task order number 4-B, City of Canton Drainage Improvement Project amendment in the lump sum amount of $19,043 for the additional construction engineering and inspection related to the increase in the project scope of work requested by R&C Service and change order number 4. Is there a motion?
Mayor, pro tem, I motion that we authorize and approve, Wagner for task order 4B, with that, project amendment.
And Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to second motion with an unreadness.
By Alderman Wells, seconded by Alderman Taylor, and there's one unreadiness. State your unreadiness, Alderman Taylor.
Mr. Gary, we're gonna put you to work today. Just want you to come and tell the citizens what this particular project is going on, which area, which board. There may be some constituents here that may want to hear this.
So this, the project that he's referring to is the Canton Drainage Improvement Project, like I mentioned a few moments ago. They're currently working along East M Street to repair the driveway culverts and promote better drainage flow in the areas of those homeowners. What this project amendment is referring to is there was an adjacent homeowner or adjacent property alongside the creek that flows behind Liberty Village Cove. And due to external factors outside of what our project was focused on, caused some erosion and damage to that ditch embankment. And so the contractor is going out there and installing a new pipe that's going to promote better drainage flow. It'll be covered back up so that the city can maintain that ditch. But that's where this project is located. Yes.
Thank you. My register.
All right, thank you, Alderman Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Gary.
And thank you, Mr.
Yes,
Gary.
Gary.
Y'all heard the motion, all in favor of the motion?
You're there.
Tim Taylor.
Wells,
Kent,
The motion carries and it's unanimous. The next item on the agenda is to approve WAC.
consent agenda. You missed one on the bottom first page.
Okay, I skipped, I went to the next page.
Mayor, Pro Tem, if I may.
Yes.
I need to add something to the consent agenda.
Okay, I see agenda, we need a vote from the entire board, to change that. So go ahead, Steve.
Fail to add, the trip to DC to see Congressman Thompson, Wicker, Senator Wicker, and Senator Patsy. And we need to establish the dates so that, Reagan can go ahead and get started on doing those proposals, and our business plan that.
Any suggestions for the date?
The date, I think we said, was June, I think it's the 4th through the.
Last night, y'all said 4th.
Said 4th through the 6th.
And that's on Wednesday, right?
Wednesday and Friday.
Four, is that all right with everybody? 4 through the 6?
Unless you wanna wait another day, visit 5th, 6th, and 7th, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I think they're running into the thing where the congressman may not be on Friday.
Right.
And Mr. Garrett, that's the date, the next date that you have available.
Yes, sir.
What
Either
dates
the
you have available, right?
first week or the second week of June, and I understand the general election for Canton is June 3rd, so we could either go that Wednesday through the Friday or that second week of June. The only thing we try and capture on those trips is when the Senate and the House are both in session, and which they are for those first 2 weeks, so whichever works best for the city.
And can you also expound on why we go to DC to present?
Yes, sir. So those requests that the city is talking about is to request for funding for 3 separate projects, 2 with the city of Canton and 1 with Canton Municipal Utilities. Requesting for federal money to come through to assist with different projects throughout the city. One of which is for surveillance systems around the city. The second is another initiative to improve drainage infrastructure. And then the third is to expand the drinking water capacity for Canton Municipal Utilities. So the purpose of going to DC is to meet with Senator Hyde-Smith, Senator Wicker, and Congressman Thompson to go over those requests and then promote the city's initiative in getting those requests pushed through.
And the drinking water capacity will also help to bring in more residents as well as businesses to our city. So when the drinking water capacity increase, it will also make room to provide water to those additional households and facilities.
Yes.
Business facilities in our city. Thank you, Mr. Garrett.
And even with that, if I may extend that conversation, and here's why it's so important to attend your board meetings in the city of Canton. The information that you get is very much needed. A lot of questions go out, and they look at surrounding cities in the metropolitan area. Why doesn't the city of Canton have what the city of Madison, Richmond, and Gloucester is having? Let me tell you this. When you get a red alert from your water company saying that you at 97% water capacity, nobody's going to come to your city if you don't have water. Bottom line. That's one of the essential needs of life. So, look, let me encourage you all that you need to start going to these meetings so you will be informed and not just hear from the street committee. You get it firsthand, you get to ask questions because you pay these board members to sit there and not inform you. They should be informing you. I wish they would send out newsletters to make people aware of what's going on. For months, we've endured a very bad odor in the city of Canton. That was a cesspool. I thought it was the poetry company, but it was a cesspool. We have what you call a water treatment plant in the city of Canton that does not service the city of Canton. We have open lagoons, and if anything is open with water in it and photosynthesis pulling up, odor is going to go out. Everybody in the city of Canton ought to be complaining about this. We pay these people. And it's not going to get any better until you and people like me do the complaining to make these folks get up off their dairy airs to do what they're supposed to be doing. And if we never complain, and all we do is do our talking on the back porch and never bring it to the front porch, nothing will change. That smell has been going on in this city for the last 40 years. And we don't know what it's doing to people. I have the same complaint down on Canton Street. You got an old cesspool, you got an old fertilizer factory, then you got water flooding. And when those two contaminants come together, there's no telling what's growing out there. But only we, the people, can make the biggest difference in the city. But we got to stand up and we got to speak up. I'm ready to sit. Was that not ready to sit? That was a statement. But I'm dead serious. It's not just because I'm a candidate for mayor. So many times people take advantage of us because of who we are and what we don't stand for. I know there are a lot of things going on in the city, but we are human beings and we can do better. And the only way we can do better is we got to put forth a better effort in what we're trying to do. That's my statement. I'm going to set up at some point tonight. All right.
All right, you all have also heard statements being stated by Alderman Guilty as well as Alderman Taylor, and to add that item to the agenda, to the consent agenda. Right. So, do I have a motion? Is that motion second?
Who's that?
Okay, motion by Alderman Guilty, seconded by
I'll second it.
Alderman Ken. To add that item to the consent agenda about going to present a proposal to our congressman and senator.
Did we say who was going?
We did not say.
Did we?
No.
She said after the trip.
Did we at some point approve the trip
Previously, said.
some months ago?
If not,
You got that.
we did that.
Yeah, because I think some months ago
But
we
we just need to
approved the
see it.
trip. Did we did, but we need to approve the trip.
We've got the dates here, so we.
Yes.
They'll check and make sure that
Yes.
they're in place.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Is there any more discussion on this matter?
Yeah, just keep in mind when we do go to DC, look, we were somewhat whipped once by one of the congressmen saying that when we come, we don't have a plan. I know we've been doing a great job in the past, but we don't need to get relaxed on it, is what I'm saying. That, we prepare here, so when we go there, with the preparation here, we can really go through and send a significant message of what our needs really are. Yeah, because if you don't have a plan and you're not sincere with the practice that you do here, nobody will sincerely take you for real for what you're truly coming to ask for. And we see what's going on in other cities where they get monies in the millions of dollars and we get $500,000. That's ridiculous. Yes, the city in those places are just like us. And if they can get $14 million for sidewalk repair, we ought to be able to get something equal to that. But they say a closed mouth don't get fed. But even when you open your mouth, you gotta have a plan going forward. You can't just be spitting out information and not knowing what you're talking about.
I thank you all for the table. It's been motion second that we add that item to the consent agenda. Have you resolved your unreadiness?
It is.
All right, thank you. All in favor of the motion?
Here,
Tim Taylor.
Yeah, this is the add.
Okay.
Well,
Okay. The motion carries and it's unanimous. Now I need a motion to approve the consent agenda with that item added. Okay. I'm going to take a moment to review the consent agenda before to see whether anything else to be added or
Make the motion we approve the consent agenda.
I'd like to second the motion.
Motion by Alderman Penn, seconded by Alderman Taylor, that we approve the consent agenda in its entirety. Is there any questions?
Yes, question.
All right.
The, container that's outside, there's only just the benches there, nothing else in there? Just a circle. Okay.
Everything else is documentation.
Okay, this is on the next circle. Okay, fine. So it'll be known by the next meeting, right?
Can we add that? It's on.
It's on here, that room is on here also. Okay. That's it, Mayor Pro Tem.
So you, motion to
Resolve.
Okay, thank you. All in favor of the motion to approve the consent agenda in its entirety?
Wells, right?
Yeah.
Ken,
Tim Taylor,
Motion carries and it's unanimous. I need to, someone to entertain a motion to go into executive session.
now I can make a motion that we go into executive session.
All in favor of the motion?
Okay.
Second. Give me a second.
I'll second.
Motion by Alderman Taylor, second by Alderman Wills, that we go, to executive session to make a determination. All in favor of the motion?
Tim Taylor.
Wells, right?
Ken,
Motion carried and it's unanimous.
Thank you all for coming.